I woke up like this. I woke up like this. Flawless. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. So today's video, I decided to do this like very minimal makeup, and this is my take on like the no makeup look. And I feel like most of you guys can relate to this because it's not like every day, you know, you're gonna put on a heavy coverage complexion and full of eyeshadow. So this is very appropriate for every day. And this is pretty much just like enhancing your natural features, and this like defines enhancing your natural beauty. So this is really stressing that out, and I want to show you techniques in this video to really get that like healthy looking glowing complexion where we use a lot of products, but you know, the overall look looks like we didn't use a lot of products at all. So if you want to know my techniques and how I got this look, then please just keep watching. Okay, so to get started, I'm gonna hydrate my face, and it's really important to do this because we are putting very minimal makeup. So it's really nice to just have your skin well prepped and hydrated and supple so that everything just absorbs into the skin. So to moisturize, I'm gonna go in with my Rose Deep Hydration Face Cream from Fresh. This is a really nice product or moisturizer for dry skin because it's just really lightweight, and it does claim to like protect the barrier and like help retain moisture, which is really nice because we do need that if you're dry skin. I think if you're oily skin, like you can still benefit off this moisturizer because it does not like feel greasy at all. Like it just gives you the right amount of hydration that you need without making you look or feel shiny or like greasy. So okay, so next I'm gonna just spray my face with a Caudalie Beauty Elixir Smoothing Glowing Complexion. Now I'm almost done my bottle, so as you can tell, I've been using this for quite a while and I've been really like enjoying this. It has like a minty like smell to it, and when you apply it, it just really like you can feel it like on your skin, like it almost like slightly tingles, so you know it's really absorbing into the skin. So that's really nice. Okay, so I usually like to start off with doing my eyebrows just because it's the one thing that I feel like really frames the face. So I'm gonna get started with that, with the brows. So the product I'm using is this MAC eyebrow styler in the shade Stud. It's the second darkest shade that they have for the brows, and I've been also using this for quite some time now, and I really do like this pencil just because it's like not that creamy. As you can tell, like I really like brow products like that just because it's like a lot easier to control, especially with pencil, so that it's easy to like flick and do the brow, or sorry, the hair strokes. So that's why I like to use pencil, for that reason, because we are trying to go for a very natural look. So we want our brows to look very like feathered on and not really drawn on. So especially in the inner corners, I like to mimic the hair strokes. So I'm just gonna like flick upwards to like mimic it, just to make it look very natural. Mhm. Okay, and I'm just gonna blend that out with a spoolie on the other side. And then to set the brow hairs, I'm gonna use my e.l.f. Wow Brow Gel Fiber Volume. And I've been really enjoying this just because it does volumize the hairs, and it also seems like to lock the brow in place. So it like doubles as that, a volumizer and a gel. Yeah, so this just emphasizes our hair brows, you know, it makes it look more fuller, which is really important for that like feathered on natural look. So yeah. Okay, and next I'm gonna move on to the complexion. So because we already moisturized and all that, I'm gonna prime my face. So for a no makeup look, I like to go for primers that are like blurring. So I'm gonna go in with primers just to mix it. So I'm gonna use my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. And I've been loving this. It's like one of the newer items that I'm trying, and I've fallen in love. So, and it does like blur out your pores, and it is pretty like comparable to like the Tatcha Silk Canvas, and this is more affordable, so can't go wrong with that. And I concentrate that really like more on the areas where I have large pores. So it's usually like here around like the center of my face. So that's where I concentrate it. And the consistency of this is kind of like velvety but like hydrating at the same time. Okay, now that we primed, I'm going to go in with my foundation. So I'm not really gonna go for like a heavy coverage foundation because this is like a minimal look. So I'm gonna mix two products. So the first one is this Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Tinted Hydrating Gel Cream. Now, this is described as a foundation, like a sheer to medium, but I feel like the consistency is more like a hybrid of like a BB CC cream and a tinted moisturizer, because you can build it up and it's very hydrating on the skin. It gives you a radiant natural finish, like nothing like oily that makes you look like you're shiny, but it's just like a healthy kind of radiance, which is really nice. And I've been loving this tinted moisturizer, so I'm gonna be using this. So I'm gonna take some of that, and I'm in the shade Bamboo 5.5. And then I'm gonna mix in the L'Oreal Paris Age Perfect Radiant Serum Foundation. And it does have like, it says concentrated with antioxidants, which is really nice because it does have skincare ingredients in it. Also, this one has it too. So it just really helps with like that healthy complexion, with like improving your skin, the way your skin feels, pretty much. So I'm mixing that in, and it is a lightweight foundation. So just a little bit of that, and then together I'm gonna just mix that and then apply it to my skin. And then I'm gonna take a beauty sponge. Now this is like my second time using this. It's the beauty sponge from the Beauty Bakery brand. So I'm just gonna pat it in. It's like very sheer coverage, so I can really like still see my skin. And I do have dark spots, so the next thing is I'm gonna go in with a concealer that's the same tone as my skin tone, not lighter. so that way I can cover up the dark spots. So I'm using the Milani Conceal and Perfect in the shade 140. Okay, and then I'm gonna use the same sponge and just like press that in. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with a little bit more coverage just because I do have dark spots. So I'm gonna just mix a little bit in again with a tinted moisturizer and the foundation. And I'm gonna concentrate it more here just because I do have more dark spots around this area. You know, everyone's face is different, so you can kind of just alter this as to like what your skin needs. So if you have less dark spots, then you don't have to go in with like the concealer or a second coverage. Okay, so now we're gonna work on our under eye. Now, naturally, everyone has like some kind of like darkness under the eye. So, if you are lighter skinned, so like around my complexion, you want to use like a peach colored concealer or color corrector, and I'm using the one by NYX. And it's this palette. And if you are darker skinned, you want to go for a more orangey toned. So like this. This one's by LA Girl. This is a really good one too. It's very creamy. I'm gonna use the peach one since I am lighter. So this one is pretty good by NYX. It's not drying. I feel like a lot of color correctors are very like dry, and I don't really personally like that. But this one has the right amount of creaminess and like tackiness so that it doesn't just slide and doesn't give you coverage. Okay, I know it's looking a little bit crazy, but we are blending it. So after color correcting, I'm gonna go in with a concealer. Now the concealer that is more new to me that I've been loving like right off the bat when I used it is the Hourglass Vanish Concealer, and I'm in the shade Fawn. Now this is nice, and the reason why I like this is because you can use like the littlest amount of product, even just a few dots. I know with some concealers, like you need to like actually swipe it, but with this one you don't. And then I'm gonna use like a smaller brush like this so that it maximizes the coverage of the concealer. And I'm gonna kind of like drag it up because I don't want to use primer because I do want to make this look very natural. So you just like want to press it in with your brush. It's like press it in and kind of like swipe down at the same time. So I'm gonna drag that up and kind of drag it down like the leftover so that it blends more with our concealer. I mean, foundation. Now, I want to do all the setting after I do all the creams. So now I'm going to bronze my face. So I like to go in with like a cream bronzer just because it does give the look of like you're naturally bronzed, because if it's cream, it just absorbs more into the skin than like versus powder. So, and sorry, I'm using the L'Oreal Paris Infallible L'Oreal shaping stick in the shade Honey. So I'm just gonna like put this the areas where I would bronze. Nothing like too dramatic. I'm gonna go in with a brush that's kind of like rounded and smaller but dense, but it has like a bit of like fluff to it so that it's easy to like blend it in. So I'm gonna use that and just buff it in. Now to blend this in, I press it in more than like, you know, like move it around, because we do want to concentrate the product to where we want it, and we don't want to move any of the foundation that we put. And I do like to go in with a sponge and just like further like blend that in. And the key with this too is like really blending in, you know, and pressing it into the skin, because we do want it to look more skin-like. If you can see, it's really like just like my skin. I'm naturally like bronzed with a cream bronzer. So yeah, and then now that we've put all our creams, I'm gonna start setting. So for the under eye and like around here in the center of my face, I love my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless powder, and I'm using the shade to medium. And you guys, this is honestly like an airbrush powder. Like, it does make you look very poreless and flawless. All right, so to apply this powder, I'm gonna be using like a flat pointed brush just to press it into exactly where I want it. So under the eyes. And this powder, guys, like, it's very, very fine, silky. So it doesn't make you look cakey, but it like right with one like swipe on your face, it's like it's covered. It's amazing. So for the rest of the face, I'm gonna be going in with my Jouer Soft Focus Hydrate and Set Powder. And since I bought it in my Sephora haul, I've been using it all the time to set my face, because I don't know, it's just very like photo friendly. It doesn't make you oily. It does set your face, but it doesn't make you like flat matte, which is not a good look. So I'm gonna use that to like set all over the face. And I'm kind of gonna like omit the area where I bronze, because I don't want to cover it up with a powder, because we are gonna go with a bronzer. So my favorite bronzer right now is my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer, and this is in the shade medium. And when she says it's airbrushed, she's not lying, you guys. Like, the consistency of this is the same as her Flawless powder. It's really, really fine. As you can see, when I dip, it doesn't have any like kickback to it, which is really nice, and that's why it doesn't look chalky. Even when you build it up, like, it still looks like your skin. Like, it doesn't look chalky at all. And on me, this shade is like not very like dark, which I've been loving those kind of bronzers, like very natural. So yeah. So now that we're done that, we're gonna move on to the eyes. So like I said, I'm not gonna prime, and we're just gonna use the concealer that we dragged up from the under eye to our lids, and I'm just gonna use my beauty sponge just to like press it in to make sure that it's not like creased or anything. And I'm not really gonna go with any like eyeshadow. What I'm gonna use is, again, my airbrush bronzer, and I'm going to take a fluffy brush and pretty much just define my crease. I'm like building it up, and it doesn't look chalky at all on my eyes. just looks like my crease is naturally shaded. So it's really nice. And then I'm gonna add blush. So for a more natural look, I do like to use liquid blush, and my favorite one is the NARS liquid blush in the shade Orgasm. So it's like a pinky shade with like very, very fine gold reflex. You can't even see the gold, but it just gives it like a really nice, healthy flush to your skin, like you're naturally blushing. You can use a brush, but I feel like, you know, your finger's the best tool because it does help like just absorb this in to the skin. And it does give like a natural like sheen and radiance, like you're healthy. So to further blend that in, I'm gonna take the leftover that's on the back of my hand with a beauty sponge and like really press that in. Like I said, that's really the key to this look. So, and then for highlight, I don't want anything too drastic or too like stark. So I am gonna go in again with a cream product. So the first one is I'm using this MAC strobe cream in Gold Light. And this is like lotion or moisturizer, but it has like very, very fine reflex and a gold sheen. So it just naturally gives your face that like radiance. Like if you can see it right away. See that? And it's very light, nothing too like stark. And you want to pat this in again, not moving it, not swiping it, because you don't want to move anything that we put underneath. You're just building it up. Do you see that sheen, you guys? Yep, telling you, this is a nice product. Now to set that, I'm not gonna go in with a highlighter, but my favorite thing to use for like a natural, like lit from within glow is the Laura Mercier setting powder, and this is the glow, not the translucent, it's the glow one. And then I'm gonna take my beauty blender. So pretty much the same concept as the regular Laura Mercier setting powder. You would like usually take your beauty blender and dip into the product. So I'm gonna take some and put it like on the lid. Kind of put a little bit too much there. I'm gonna put some back. So I'm gonna use what's here and pat it. And I'm gonna press into where I put the Gold Light. And it just gives your skin. And I'm gonna like kind of like pat that out. Like a natural radiance. Your finger is a very good tool to like melt things in because the warmth on your fingers just does the job. And I'm also gonna use that to like go down the bridge of my nose. And I'm gonna use the clean side of my beauty blender and really like press that in. Like we're healthy. And I'm gonna add some here. Okay, I am gonna use some of that and take it on like a shader brush, eyeshadow brush. And because we're not putting on like eyeshadow, I'm gonna use that as well to give a natural glow to my face. And like the brow bone is really nice to like add some glow. It just lifts your brows as well. Especially like on the inner corners. So now, I'm going to set, oh, I forgot to set the blush. So I am going to go in with a powder, very, very lightly. I'm gonna use the Morphe palette, and I'm gonna use that middle shade. It's a matte color, and it's like a peachy kind of color. And I like peachy shade blush for a more natural like flush. So I'm gonna take that in with my blush brush. So I'm using an angled one from Morphe. It's M405. So just lightly like pat that, take off the excess. And some people like to like drag it here because they won't really want that like blushed look, like a W pretty much. So we're just gonna do that. And then going back to the eyes, I'm going to curl my lashes. We're not gonna use falsies or anything because we want the natural look. So I'm gonna curl my lashes and apply mascara. So the mascara I'm gonna be using is the CoverGirl Exhibitionist Waterproof Mascara. I really like this mascara. I feel like no high-end mascara really works for me. Like my lashes are very stubborn. Even if I curl it, it goes straight down. And no mascara from Sephora really keeps it up. I've tried a few, and only drugstore mascara does it for me. Especially CoverGirl, they make really good mascaras. And it doesn't clump. So when they say it's like clump proof, it really doesn't clump. Like they're not lying. Yeah. So for the bottom lash line, I like to go in with a different mascara. So I'm gonna use my Telescopic by L'Oreal Hydrofuge waterproof mascara. It has like a very, very thin, comby kind of brush. So it's easier to like work under the eyes and curl or put mascara on your lashes, your bottom lash line. And it really does like lengthen it. Like, oh my god, that just like do you see that? Like, you see the difference? Yeah. And L'Oreal is another brand that does mascaras very, very well. I feel like that's a very important step, and it just really like opens up our eyes, you know? Okay, one last thing I'm gonna do is take like a flat, like kind of like a liner definer brush, and I'm gonna dip into like a dark brown color. So my palette of choice I'm gonna use is my Charlotte Tilbury Desert Haze palette. I'm gonna use this color right here. I don't want to use a black color just because I don't want it to look too harsh. And what we're gonna do with this is I'm gonna very tightly line my lash line, so it just makes it look a lot more like fuller. Yeah, and it's just really even more like opens up our eyes and volumizes like our, no, not volumizes, but it just makes it look fuller, like our lashes. So, oh wait, I'm gonna contour my nose just a little bit because, you know, I wasn't born with a tall nose, so we're gonna make it look like we have a taller nose. So I'm gonna go back in with the same bronzer, the Charlotte Tilbury one, and a flat like eyeshadow brush like this. And just lightly go down the bridge of the nose on the sides. Like nothing too drastic, obviously, because we are trying to keep this look natural. And I am kind of like gonna drag it like to my crease of my eye. It just really enhances like the definition, but very, very naturally. See the difference that it makes? Now it looks like I have a taller nose. Oh, the lips. So I'm gonna set first and then we'll go in with the lips. So I'm gonna use my MAC Fix Plus in Gold Light. Now it has very like tiny gold reflex, and it does give you like some radiance, but nothing, you know, to make you look oily or anything. And this just helps everything absorb as well. So there's that. And then for the lips, for a very like natural look, I want it to look like my lips are naturally like pink. So a lip tint does that trick. So I'm using the Benefit Posy Tint, and this is like a pinky shade. So I'm literally gonna swipe it, and it just tints your lip. And this just gives your lips like, you see that? Like it's naturally pink. You know, you can still like kiss and it won't transfer. It's literally like a tint. So it's like your lips are naturally that color. All right, so we're done with this look. Alright guys, so that pretty much wraps up the video for today. I really hope you guys learned a few things from me. And oh, before we end the video, I want to say that I am holding a giveaway, and everything, like all the rules and all that good stuff, was described in my previous video. So everything that I have here, including the bag, will be included in that video. So if you are interested in entering, then please head on over to the previous one so you guys can follow the rules if you want to enter. And thank you guys for watching this video, and if you did like this, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to click that red subscribe button, you know, and join my growing family. And don't forget to hit that notification bell as well so that you don't miss out on any videos that I post. And that's it. Thank you guys for all the love and support, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.